Lately, I've been deep in backend work, databases, and all the messy, complex tech stuff. It made me miss the simple joys of coding, like when I used to make block skins when I was much younger. So this video is going to be all about going back to the basics and building something simple, fun, and stupid with code. To start off with, I had an initial idea to create a web page that mimics 80s magazines. They are usually very colorful, but the design I came up with was way too simple, and it wasn't as playful and unique as I wanted things to be. So I began brainstorming again. Let's go. I'm gonna start with an empty mirror screen. I don't consider myself a creative by any means, so starting from scratch and being able to build something, anything under the sun, seems pretty intimidating. But it's times like this when I have to force myself to shift my mindset and instead find the beauty in choice. Being able to pick anything to create at this moment is a privilege. After my 80s magazine idea didn't make the cut, I'm gonna head to Pinterest first to find some new inspirations and add them to Miro. We just came back from dinner and something very interesting happened because the place that we were going for dinner was right beside a Japanese restaurant. So while waiting for the queue, I just glanced into the window of that restaurant and all I saw were people sitting and eating ramen. And that gave me an idea. What if I translate a ramen bowl into a website? The site will have a bowl with different ingredients in it, moving around with animations and maybe some text floating around as well. Let's draft a rough idea of what the ramen website is going to look like. One of the key aspects of this design is going to be the different ingredients that I include and how they fit together with each other. And of course, the color scheme. I first created a dump of all ingredients I will include, and then on Miro, with limited shapes, I'm going to try and arrange the different ingredients to see how they would look in a bowl. Hello. Yesterday I spent a while trying to get a breakdown of what I want to create and put it in my ramen bowl, which was very fun. This is what I have so far. A rough site with a bowl and some ingredients. I'm not a designer, so please don't judge the sloppy designs. This is just for fun. Now, before I start to code, I do want to just create a UI with some elements. So let's also add something cool to it, like animations. I would love to do some broth and some steam animations coming out of the broth of the bowl. And not so creative, so let's ask ChatGPT what it thinks we should add. I ended up finding 5 different types of animations. The chopstick scroll mechanism is pretty cool. It's basically being able to pick up the noodles using chopsticks directly on the web page. And I'm also so excited for some egg yolk animations, like breaking the yolk apart when you click on a piece of egg. No idea how I'm going to do that, but that sounds really fun. And now we can start coding. I'm going to use React.js just because it's a lot easier to start up as an app and I'm used to it. I'm going to first create a bowl and then use HTML and CSS to create the remaining elements like the 2 eggs. I'm now going to add all the different ingredients and play around with the positions of where each ingredient fits in the bowl using CSS. For the pork ingredient, let's try to use CSS to create it. Okay, it seems like that's not very possible and the pork looks very funny in just CSS. So I think I'm going to use an image, import it, and use an image of a pork that goes in the bowl itself. So I worked on the website yesterday after work, but I'm not happy with the results. Since most of the elements are created using CSS, they don't look realistic, and for the images, I can't add any animations because it's not possible to add them with just JPEG images. So, let's do something new. I'm going to use my iPad and create some custom images of the ingredients instead. Then I'm going to export my custom drawings to SVG using an online tool. Creating the custom images is pretty fun, but I'm no artist, so I'm definitely still referring to existing art that I found online for inspiration/outright duplication. I found Adobe's SVG converter to be the best tool to convert my custom JPEGs into SVG, which I can then add to my code. So I'm doing this conversion for every ingredient I created manually. But after doing this manually for a while, I then realized I should just done the conversion in code. Using some library that does JPEG to SVG conversion, I could add all of the pictures to a folder and then get an automation to convert everything in the folder. That would be much quicker, but hindsight is 2020. So I'm now going to fix some of the SVGs I imported because a lot of them have background and I don't want there to be a background in the images. So let's remove them so they all have transparent backgrounds. Now that I have all the different ingredients in my bowl, I want to add some animations, like some vapor. I have no idea how to do that, so let's head to YouTube and learn how from this quick video that I found. This video made the entire implementation super easy, and look, now we have a not too bad vapor coming out of the bowl. One more thing I want to add is animations to the individual ingredient components. Perhaps making the noodles move as I pick them up, or making the egg wobble. After trying this out for a while, I realized what I was trying to do was not very easy. So to actually have something working, I'm gonna settle for some simple animations, like wobble, or moving the egg up and down when I hover, which I might have gone overboard on. Okay, today is going to be the last day that I work on this project just because I want to try working on something new, a new idea that you may or may not see in the next video. But I spent some time today with a new tool called Cursor AI that I found about yesterday. It's a code editor which has built-in AI to modify the contents of files in a repository. I'm now going to use Cursor AI to make the code a lot cleaner by making the positions of each component accessible from the app.tsx file level. This means that if I want the egg to be in the right side of the bowl, not the left, I can just modify it in app.tsx instead of going to the egg component and modify it there. I also want to spend some time today to make the bowl 3D and interactive using a new library called Tree. I mean, the library's not new, I just heard about it, so it's new to me. So let's do that. I'm very excited to see how that would turn out. Okay, seems like making the bowl 3D is not impossible, but making the ingredients move along with the bowl is way more complex than I thought it would be. So I'm just going to revert that whole idea for now. And I just have this silly little ramen bowl with some custom ingredients that move way too much on hover and some text to make the space feel less empty. But that's all I have for now. I may publish this site or just leave it in development as it is right now. But let me know your ideas and thoughts on improving it. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one.